Even executives are giving New York the cold shoulder. The latest was David Griffin, of course, the former Cavaliers general manager, who has pulled his name from consideration from the Knicks front office job because, and this is according to reports, he wouldn't have final say in basketball decisions and couldn't bring in his own staff. So I'm not exactly sure what he'd be doing in the building anyway. Scouting? I mean, does this make you question if the Knicks are even serious about bringing in front office help?
Well, they need help, that's for sure. And it goes back to the ways prior to Phil Jackson, where James Dolan seems to have a level of loyalty to certain people. We saw that with Isaiah Thomas. Now you have it with Steve Mills and Allen Houston there with the Knicks. But this Griffin thing is troubling on a number of levels. One, I think David Griffin is a good GM. All the jokes about LeBron, he made a lot of moves on the margins when they were salary cap strapped that worked out well for them. Because just because they lost the finals doesn't mean they weren't a very, very good team. I mean, they were a super good team that lost to something else in the Golden State Warriors. Then, on the other side of things, it perpetuates the reputation the Knicks already have, that the front office is going to meddle in things, that you're not going to be able to do your job effectively because the only guy who was even given those powers publicly was a huge, splashy name. Yeah. And we know the Knicks love those huge, splashy names. David Griffin, of course, not Phil Jackson in that regard.
I just think it's not too soon or hyperbole to say that I think the commissioner's office should step in here because, honestly, if these reports are true, and I believe that they are, what makes you think that the Knicks are going to in any way get themselves out of their own way and start to have something that resembles a competent basketball front office? Now, we can quibble about the Hardaway Jr. contract, and some people liked it and other people didn't.
I didn't hate the Hardaway Jr.
You didn't hate it, but there has to be, the league needs New York to be a destination for free agents. I think that whether small markets can create stars or not, because we live in a social media world, you still want the New York Knicks to be relevant. Now we have the Lakers starting to get more relevant with Lonzo. Obviously, the Celtics are starting to get more relevant. You need these big and historically good franchises, I think, to be good. Now, we've seen the commissioner's office get involved before with the Donnie Walsh signing. You know, Donnie Walsh basically put together that marriage with James Dolan. Didn't work out so well because Dolan basically undercut him at every step, including signing Amari Stoudemire and also to a $100 million contract that wasn't insured. And the Carmelo trade, of course. But we saw the commissioner's office also step in more recently with the James Dolan-Charles Oakley mess. So I think that it's not a stretch to say that someone has to give some oversight here because you can't have James Dolan and Steve Mills just keep making the same bad decisions.
Yeah, the Knicks are funny because we can all laugh at their dysfunction, but it's also sad. As you mentioned, in a city, I think, where New York is dying for basketball to be its sport, but the franchise just won't let it happen. And I talk to fans a lot, and I'm like, how can you still root for this team? They always give me this answer of, well, when we win, it's going to be even sweeter. The Knicks will never win a championship being run the way they are run at the moment.